Yeah, if you could all just mute, that would be great. Lovely. All right, so nice to see you all. And yeah, welcome to this new term. We're just going I recognize we haven't been doing anything for a little while, so we're going to have a really good stretch out and just sort of mobilize into everything, and then we're going to do a bit of a visualization at the end. So let's start off as we always do with having a lie down and a stretch out. Having a really good lengthen through the spine, taking some time to do that. So not rushing this process of settling into the posture, into a place of really noticing what's here for you. Paying attention to the spine and noticing whether you feel you need to bend through the knees to allow the lower back to settle, or if it's possible to lengthen away, separate the feet, let the feet flop out to the sides, noticing if there's a pull in the lower back, and if that just softens and releases, and so be it. But if it causes pain, then go back to knees bent. And then taking the attention up to the shoulders and wriggling one shoulder and the other away from the ears. And take the arms away from the sides of the body, turning the palms upwards or having the hands at least on their sides so that the fingers and thumbs can softly curl. And then noticing how the head has found a position, and it might be you want to tuck the chin in just a little bit more to lengthen along the back of the neck. Feeling into the breath. And the movement of the body with the breath. Using this space and time to allow yourself to really tune in to what's here for you in this moment, in the body. Being aware of any areas of holding, tension, pain, discomfort, unease. Perhaps also though areas of openness, of softness. Of ease, connectivity. Feeling into the space you take up on your mat, in your room. And as you allow the body to settle, it creates an opportunity to tune into the emotional tone, the feeling tone, how you're doing in this layer, this level. And with that can come an awareness of the energy, whether it's traveling freely around the body. And often if it's not, there are areas of coolness, sense sometimes of disconnection from. Allowing the muscles of the face to really release, soften, smoothing out every time you exhale just a little bit more. And then when you're ready, having a little wriggle of the fingers and the toes, increasing the depth of the breath and noticing how that shifts your relationship to the body, to your energies. Maybe having a yawn as you start to come into some movement, a stretch, arms up above, pushing the heels. Oh, that lovely sense of being back here on the mat, practicing yoga. And as you extend the arms up above the head, turning the palms away, taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, pressing through with the left heel and taking the hands over to the right. So there's a feeling of expansion through the left side of the body, through the waist, the ribs, the hip, and up to the shoulder, the arm. Taking another breath in, and as you breathe out, taking it over in the other direction, the right heel going away from you, drawing the toes up towards you, both hands towards the floor, on the floor behind you, over to the left. Feeling the breath in the rib cage on the right side, and that sense of really opening. And doing that a couple more times, side to side, in your own time. Maybe bringing the toes up towards you a little bit more. Good. And then coming back into the center, gently let the arms come down, bending through the knees and finding the spine on the floor. So it might mean you need to tip your pelvis a little. Sometimes I lift up my pelvis and just contracting a bit through the core to find the mat with my spine. The feet are hip distance apart. And if you've got your head on a cushion or something, just taking that away, tuck the chin in a little. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, let's just contract through the pelvic floor, bring the belly button to the base of the spine, press into the feet a little. And on the inhale, releasing, let the belly expand. So just repeating that, listening to your own body, just feeling that delicious rocking movement, the lengthening of the spine, connecting the whole of the spine. That amazing structure that houses all of the neurons that feed into the rest of the body, spinal cord, all the branches that come off it. So by freeing this area, moving, it helps to allow the messages to go into our organs and from the brain and then to the brain. So much goes on as we soften, create space in the spine. And next time you breathe out, bring the knees towards you, give them a hug. It might be an opportunity to remove your socks if you need to. Just drawing the knees down. On the exhale, softening them a little bit on the inhale to let the belly rise. Just gently, gently. Noticing the lower back feels at the moment. And then crossing the ankles and easing from one side to the other. Listening to what your body needs and just taking care as you massage the lower back and maybe taking it a little bit further over onto your hip on one side and feeling the engagement of the core as you bring the knees back into center and over the other way. Gently does it, side to side. And then let's bring the knees and the ankles into the center, hands on the knees, and circle the knees around. So that idea of drawing a spiral on the ceiling, so that every time the knees go away from you, you're just getting that circle a little bit bigger. So you might have to let go of the knees as they go a little bit further away from you, and then reconnect, drawing them in as they come back up towards you. So it's really listening to what your body needs and maybe taking them quite a distance around, or if you prefer, keeping it soft and gentle. And then drawing them back to the center, have a pause, a breath in and out, and then do the same in the other direction. Each circle a little bit bigger, down to the coccyx, around to the side. Good, and then when you're ready, coming up to the center once more, holding on to the knees, maybe the elbows out to the sides. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring the head up to the knees to the head. And then slowly back down on the in-breath as the knees go away from you. So just do that a few times, exhaling, lifting up, inhaling, easing them away from you. Feeling the breath. Good. And then gently bring the head to the floor, feet, the arms down by the sides. Just give the head a little bit of a wobble and just to loosen into the neck and the shoulders a little bit more. A deep long breath in, and then a good stretch out. Feet away, lengthen through the spine once more. And we're going to turn over onto the belly. So just easing yourself over onto the front. As we come into prone position, one hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands. Good. Just keeping the big toes together, let the heels just flop out to the sides a little. Allow the lower back to release Nice long deep breaths in and out to really help your lower back soften, let go. And then we're going to gently bring ourselves into a bit more of a back bend. So bring the elbows in and rest the chin on the hands, looking forwards. Just noticing how the back feels. And experiencing the breath as it travels up and down the spine. And then gently coming into a place where we're going to ease through Cobra. So bringing the forehead back to the floor, hands down by your sides, elbows tucked in, the big toes together, and really paying attention to the legs and the buttocks so that they're hopefully staying as soft as possible. The core is nice and strong. Take a breath in as you breathe out, lengthening through the neck, the spine, coming up, pressing into the hands, shoulders away from the ears, relaxing anything that you're holding on to. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, easing yourself down gently and slowly, feeling that wave of movement as you start to come up and down in your own time. And maybe every time you come up, just rest there a while in that extended position and take it a little bit more. So there's that beautiful flexion of the spine, the shoulders are rolled back and down. There's an opening through the front of the chest. Maybe just looking up a little bit more if your back allows you to do that. And then as you come back down, doing so really gently and slowly. And making this next time your last, holding it there in that position, shoulders away from the ears, elbows bent, really relaxing through the buttocks and the legs. Deep breaths in and out, lifting the head up a little bit more. And on the next exhale, gently and slowly down. And then coming up and back into child, separating the knees if you need to, rounding the back, arms down by the sides. And really feeling the opening of the lower back, allowing the breath to come into the lower back. You look lovely, Karen, with the sun pouring in over you. It must be so nice. And then coming up into cat. The wrists below the shoulders, the knees below the hips, really spreading the fingers wide. And if it's helpful, ease yourself back a little, keep the heels of the hands on the floor, really open the fingers, and then plant those fingers firmly down on the mat so that there's a real connection with the ground, with the earth. And then taking your attention to the knees, the shins, the top of the feet, feeling that connectivity there too. Checking in with the back. You might want to look at the screen just to see what's happening in your spine today. And take a breath in, and as you breathe out, drawing in through the pelvic floor, tummy button comes to the base of the spine, rounding the back up. Softening Back down on the inhale. There's no tension in the arms. You can allow the elbows to bend. Rolling the shoulders back a little as the head lifts, and then forwards as you tuck the chin down. So there's a movement around the shoulder blades, which impacts on all those muscles either side of the spine. And gently beginning to rock a little bit more, perhaps back and forth, letting the chest come through the shoulders. So checking in with what you'd like to do today. It might be that you keep this really gentle, or perhaps bringing your chest much closer to the floor. Mobilize into the shoulders, elbows come right out. So the bottom comes down towards, onto the heels. There's a lovely flow through the spine and the shoulders, and feeling the relationship with the knees and the hips. And then coming back to the neutral position. When you're ready, ease yourself back and just give your hands a little bit of a shake to release into the wrists. Maybe a roll of the hands around in one direction and then the other. And we're going to go into a little bit of a twist of the spine. So we're going to go into threading the needle. So coming back into cat posture, and with the left hand turning the fingers into the midline. And then the right hand, we just take underneath with the palm facing upwards, taking a breath in as that right hand lifts and you look at the hand. And as you exhale, threading it through the eye of the needle, the shoulder coming down, the head to the floor. So we do that 4 times, lifting up, going into a twist, taking it a little bit further if you can, and through. Maybe each time just feeling the spine rotating a little bit more, like you're wringing out a dishcloth. Beautiful. And then when you've done that 4 times, coming to rest on that shoulder, the side of the head, and then lift the left arm up to the ceiling. So there's an extension through the left arm coming up. And if it's all right for the neck, you can turn to look at the hand, but if not, then just leave. The feeling of opening into the shoulder that's resting on the floor. Good. And then gently ease yourself out of that, come back into cat, just have a pause for a moment. And we're going to change to the other side. So the right hand comes in, the left hand comes up to the ceiling, breathing out, thread it through. So feeling into your own body, whatever it needs. Just coming up and back. Just easing yourself back into the twist a little bit more each time, if that's possible. And then when you're ready, coming to rest on your shoulder, just really opening up into that shoulder. So you're wriggling the left arm away from you as much as you possibly can, Then the right arm comes up to the ceiling. And if you want to, you can turn to look at the hand. Just allowing the weight of the body to come through the shoulder. Breath in, breath out, coming back up into cat, and then taking the hands away from you, just sinking back down, stretching through the rib cage. From that position, take a breath in, come into cat, breathe out, ease yourself forwards into cobra. So just doing that a few times, breathing in, breathing out, coming into extended child, lifting up, feeling the movement of the spine. As you go into the hang and the arms, the head comes back. Good. The next time you come forwards, just hanging there, just let the head come back. Allow the whole of the lower back to release as deeply into this position as you possibly can. And then gently coming back into child, and we're going to ease from here into runner. So taking a breath in, breathing out, bring the left foot forwards. Let the lower back come down, the pelvis feels heavy. Stretching into that hip flexor on the right side. Up onto the tips of your fingers. And then just allowing the head to come forwards. From here, let's go into a twist. So bring the right arm up to the ceiling. Just turning to look at that hand if you can. So the left hand is on the floor, right hand is up. Nice. And then changing to the other side. Left arm comes up. Turning to look at that hand if you can. Bringing that down. Taking the hands onto the knee if that's possible. Just feeling the wobble that sometimes happens. The pelvis is just releasing, and then take the hands together, lifting up. Breathing in and breathing out, coming into a back bend. So looking up at the hands, feeling all those areas of the body stretching and opening, releasing, but also the strengthening. Nice. Slowly down, both hands either side on the floor. Tuck the toes of the right foot under. Take a breath in, breathing out. Straighten that back leg. The heel coming away. Lovely. And then we're going to ease ourselves into the center. So just walking through, turning the feet to point forwards. Oh, just having a hang here in the center, stretching out the inner thighs. Let go in the head, the shoulders. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to ease around into runner the other side so that you find your right foot is forwards. Hands either side. Let the pelvis come down. Feel the stretch in the front of the left leg. And then looking forwards, lifting the head. The shoulders back and down either side of the spine. And then going into that rotation, so keeping the right hand on the floor, the left arm coming up. So you're opening to the front of the chest. Oh, beautiful stretch. Feel it in the shoulder. And then changing to the other side. Hand down, breathing in, breathing out. The right arm up, turning to look at that right hand if you can. And then gently down, both hands onto the knee, and really let the pelvis sink now as you lengthen up through the spine. Long inhalations, and as you exhale, that sinking down into the posture. Bring the hands together, lifting up out of the waist, and then going into a back bend. Looking up at the hands, steadying yourself. Good. And then gently bringing the hands down to the floor, the side of the right foot, extend the left leg away, stretching out through the hamstrings. And then walking around to the center, gently and slowly. Again, coming into that hanging posture. Let go in the head, the neck, the shoulders. Some long, deep breaths in and out as you feel the release. And then walking your feet in towards each other until they come to about hip distance apart, bending the knees and slowly, slowly easing yourself up to standing. Good. Nice. Once you get there, really have a good roll of the shoulders. Good. And then let the arms come down by your sides. Let's just have a pause in this posture in mountain. So standing nice and tall. Just closing the eyes if that's comfortable. And imagining a piece of string coming up from the top of the head. So there's that lovely sense of lengthening up through the neck, the spine. And feeling that lengthening sensation going right the way down through the legs, the feet, connected to the earth. So as if you're dropping like a plumb line down to the center of the body, feeling balanced, supported, connected. Allowing the breath to come in through the feet as you breathe in, drawing it up through the body, and as you breathe out, going back down through the feet and out. And let's just bring some movement into the arms with that, so that next time you breathe in, You're drawing the energy up through the feet and you're lifting it as high as you feel you'd like to. And as you start to exhale, turning the palms so that it's coming back down and out. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed if this feels comfortable or if it's a bit wobbly for you, just having them softly open. Lifting the elbows, rolling the shoulders back and down. Softening into the face, the jaw. And next time you exhale, just bringing the arms down by your sides. And we're going to ease ourselves into a very simple sequence called Energy Block Release 1, which is not a very exciting name, but it's a Drew yoga sequence that we've done several times before, where we take our feet to just over hip distance apart, so having a good stance so we feel really secure. We are going to go into a bit of a twist, so it might really need to take yourself, as I do, away from the wall behind you or by your side. So create space for yourself, that's what I'm saying. So first of all, start with your feet pointing forwards, both hands, the heels going away from you. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to ease to the right and bring the left hand onto the right shoulder. Keep the right arm twisting around behind you and keep looking at that right hand. Breathing in, coming back to the center. Turning the feet to the right. Breath in, breathing out. Going into a twist, the left hand comes onto the right shoulder, and just see if you can go a little bit more. Feeling that twist through the spine, the waist. Breathing in, coming back to the center. And then next time we spin around, we're going to lift up the left heel. So breathing in and breathing out, that left heel comes up. So you're on your tippy toes of your left foot, and see if you can come round even further. Push the heel of the hand away, looking at the hand, drawing in through the core. Nice. Coming back to the center, both feet look forwards, just bring the arms down, close the eyes. Noticing how you feel in the body. And then we're going to gently repeat that on the other side. So, breath in, feet forwards to begin with, breathing out, turning, and knowing that this side might feel a little different as you go into your twists. The shoulder, the upper back. Noticing how you are on this side of the body as you ease yourself back. Turn the feet to the left. Breathing in and breathing out. Going a little bit further. Drawing in through the core, and notice as you pull in your core that can help you to ease around even more. And then coming back to the center. And next time, you're going to come up onto your tippy toes of your right foot as you go around in a circle, looking at your hand, feeling that twist, going as far as you possibly can. Nice. And then coming back to the center, both feet facing forwards. So let the arms come down by your sides. Some long breaths in and out. Energy block release. Twisting through the spine helps to allow all those energies to flow up and down, and you might start to feel your hands, your feet starting to get nice and good. And then we're going to keep the feet as they are and go into eagle arms. So take the arms out to the side, breathing in, breathing out across the right over the left, holding onto the hands if you can, and turning the palms as much as is possible for you. Elbows away and lifting up to the ceiling. So there's a real sense of lengthening through the spine, opening into the shoulders. Just let the head bob around. There's no tension in the neck at all. Feeling that lovely openness, release into the shoulders. Soften through the knees, take a breath in. As you breathe out, controlling this through the core, so you pull your belly button into the base of the spine. As you keep the extension and you flex through the hips, just let the head come down. And once you get there, just having a little bob around so that your arms go back and forth, or maybe side to side. Just play around with it, listen to your own body and what would be really helpful for it as you open and extend. Nice. And then as we come back up again, really working the core in this. So engaging that as you ease yourself back up. Feeling to that extension. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, release. Oh, let the shoulders go. Have a little bit of a shake. A roll. Good. Nice. Okay, we're going to do the other side. Breathing in, breathing out, the left over the right, if you're doing the same as me. Recognizing this side might be a bit different. Elbows away, lifting up. And feeling that delicious stretch, particularly in the left shoulder. Taking your time, we're not rushing this process, so that every time you breathe out, you're lifting those arms up a little bit more. Just making sure the neck is beautifully soft. The tailbone's coming down to the floor, softening through the knees, drawing the belly button to the base of the spine as you flex through the hips, slowly, slowly, as you breathe out. Letting the head come down. Let the arms really hang. And as before, just having a little bob around. Be back and forth or side to side. And then as we come up, connecting in through the core, really using your core to control the movement. Extending the arms, you might be able to get the arms a little bit higher. Now we've gone into the forward bend. Breathing in and breathing out. Release. Good. Roll the shoulders. Shake of the legs. Just maybe a little bit of a movement that feels right for you, whatever you want to do, just taking the opportunity to sense into what the body needs, just to open out. So hopefully you're feeling a bit more spacious in the body. As we take the feet to one leg length apart, So just keep the feet forwards for a moment, hands onto the hips, and let's just ease from side to side. Good. Nice movement, Louisa. Good. Let's go into a little bit of a roll. Just a couple of times in one direction and then back the other way. Good. And then we're going to turn the right foot out. And keeping the body facing forwards, maybe the hands on the hips is a useful way of doing that. We're going to bend through the right knee, drawing in through the core, having a sense of lifting the chest up to the ceiling. There's a lovely spaciousness between the ears and the shoulders. A breath in, and as you breathe out, bring the elbow to the leg, the left arm up to the ceiling, stretching up. Take a breath in, breathing out. Take that arm straight past your ear and making sure that your right knee is above the right ankle. Turning that palm up to the ceiling. And breathe. Feeling the stretch. We've created lots of space down the side of the body this morning, so just feeling that as the arm, as somebody's just pulling your fingers away from you a little bit more. You can feel the stretch down through the hip, the outer edge of the leg. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back up, standing. Nice. Turn the feet to the front. Just have a pause. My breath in and out. And then turning the left foot round. Take a breath in, breathing out. That left knee comes over above the left ankle. Breath in as you breathe out. Bring the elbow to the thigh. The right arm comes up. Just let that left hand really soften and release. Breathing in, breathing out, straight past your ear. Good, and turn the palm up to the ceiling. And as before, every time you breathe out, just see if you can stretch it a little bit more through the fingers. There's a real lengthening sensation. If this is tough on the neck, you can just drop the head down a little. Nice. And then gently and slowly, when you're ready, ease yourself up and just walk feet in towards each other. Give them a shake and a little twist. Okay, so we're going to come into tree as our balancing posture today, because we've really lengthened through the spine and created space down the side of the body. So let's take ourselves into mountain first of all, separating the feet as best you possibly can to have a sense of the ground beneath you. And if it's helpful to visualize those roots going down into the earth, so that you start to feel really stable, rolling the shoulders back and down, lengthening up through the top of the head. And then we're going to shift the body weight over to the left foot and bring the heel of the right foot to the ankle, the left. And then there's an invitation for you to take this as slowly as you wish to, as you ease your foot just gently into a posture that you feel that you can stay balanced in. Bringing your hands into prayer. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, stretching the arms up. And we just keep on stretching and lengthening, finding that fixed point. Aware of the breath. You come out of it, easing yourself back into it, really paying attention to the core. When we have stability in the core, we can hold this posture for longer. And if it's all very easy for you, you can go from side to side, close your eyes, just have a play around with it. And easing yourself out from that posture, coming back into mountain. Connecting the right foot, the right leg down to the earth as you shift your body weight over, bringing the heel to the ankle. Just drawing in tummy button to the base of the spine. Good. And when you're ready, just easing the foot up to wherever feels right for you. Once you've found your balance point, just allow the arms to come up, lifting up from the waist so that every time you breathe out, it's a feeling of lifting a little bit more. All those little movements just to keep you there, still, connected. Just noticing the difference when you draw in your tummy, how you can really lengthen a little bit more, open into the shoulders. Nice and steady. Well done. And slowly down. The legs a little bit of a shake, the shoulders a release. And then we're going to bring ourselves to look down the mat, length of the mat, feet hip distance apart, and making sure you're sort of in the center of the mat. This one. Take a breath in, both arms coming up. And as you breathe out, you might want to soften your knees, but bringing your hands so that the fingers are underneath the toes. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, if you're able to, lengthening through the back of the legs so that you're opening into the back of the knees and drawing your chest, your head down towards your legs. As you breathe in again, lift the head straight and through the back. And as you exhale, lengthen through the back of the knees. Just repeating that a few times. Feeling the hamstrings lengthening. And releasing the hands from the toes. And we're going to walk the hands forwards. Keep the heels on the floor. You might want to bend the knees a little bit. And then start to walk the feet back. So we end up in downward facing dog, and if it's possible, keeping your heels on the floor. Have a little walk. So bend through one knee, straighten the leg at the other side. So just easing from side to side. And then up onto your tippy toes with the in-breath. And as you exhale, allow the heels to find the floor if that's possible. Very gently taking a breath in, breathing out, the shoulders come forwards, come onto the tips of the toes, and you're in hanging dog. Take a breath in, breathing out, you're in downward facing dog. Just doing that a few times in your own time, keeping the core nice and strong. If it's too strong for you, you can bring your knees onto the floor so that you're in hanging cobra rather than it's upward dog. And the next time, just coming down into plank, knees on the floor. Slowly allow the body to come down to the floor. Turn the head to the side. Let the arms come down either side of the body. And rest. And gently ease yourself up and back into child. And from here, just inviting you to find a comfortable posture. So it might be that you'd go onto your back in Shavasana, onto your side, feet up the wall. Maybe putting your socks on, finding a blanket if you're cool. Good. So taking your time to find that comfortable place. And I'm going to guide you through a springtime meditation. Springtime. The time when the days brighten up, the nights are lighter, and all around is growth. The trees are beginning to show their leaves, and the new grass feels spongy beneath our feet. We see the plants pushing forward at a rapid pace. And the harsh, cold, dark days of winter
are coming to an end. Now the moon is powerful. The spring tides are mountainous. They rush in on the breeze, bringing boats to a safe harbour. They churn up the seabed and rearrange the sand. Pebbles are redistributed in heaps against the sea wall. Bales of seaweed are scattered along the shoreline, and all kinds of sea life have to be well anchored to their homes. In the countryside, new lambs are being born. The hills green up. Wildflowers peep from crevices. Daffodils, tulips, and other spring flowers bloom in clumps. The rivers run smooth and clear. April showers bring that warm drink to the cold earth. This is a time of hope, expectations, planning. New life force and energy lift our spirits, because we are also part of this natural cycle. We change. And now take your time to visualize a full spring moon. A mountainous sea. A yacht coming into harbour. A cascading waterfall. A bright green field of fresh spring grass. Little lambs grazing. Clumps of daffodils, tulips, and other spring flowers. April showers. Warm spring rain. The sensation of the earth starting to warm up. A perfect rainbow. A mountain path. Climbing up that mountain path. The stones beneath your feet. The sun on your back. The view from the ridge. The top of the mountain. The safe cairn to shelter. The view all around. The feeling in your body. A sense of achievement, strength, the freedom of the mountaintop. The connection, communication between the mountain, all that's around you, and your inner self. And as we come towards the end of this springtime meditation, noticing how you feel in your body, heart, and mind. Starting to deepen your breath a little as you draw in that prana, the life force, into your body, into your being. Having a wriggle of your fingers and your toes, starting to move the body whichever way feels nurturing, kind, gentle. Maybe having a stretch, a yawn. Just taking your time to ease your body into movements. You might wish to roll over onto your right side and rest there for a few moments. And then when you're ready, coming on up to sitting. Interlace the fingers, bring the arms up with your in-breath. And gently release on the exhale. Namaste.